Yes, he did a great job, and he was handed a horrible deck of cards, but he played them magnificently. And so, gee, Hillary, what was that program that Obama wanted to put through that was supposed to help people with their medical stuff? What was that program called again?
Obamacare.
Obamacare, yeah.
Yeah, so we have Obamacare, but we still have the costs of basics like drugs that are too high. And this is what she's saying right here. The thing that hit me, the thing that struck me the most, outside of it being just a stretch of her imagination, is that now she's sounding like Bernie Sanders.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so now we've shifted from the centralist, pragmatic, progressive who wants to get things done to Bernie Sanders by talking about the same thing Bernie Sanders was talking about during his part of the campaign, in which he was, targeting Barack Obama as the problem. So she tells us the economy is great because Barack Obama took control of the greatest financial crisis we had since the Great Depression, and then turns right around and tells us how it still sucks.
Yeah, and let's understand. Let's see. So your health care was taken over by the government, and it's still not any better for you. In fact, it's worse because it costs you more money. And let's talk about this expensive college thing. College is getting more expensive every day, and wages are still too low. I'm sorry, college is getting more expensive every day. Let's see. Around the same time that the good old Barack took over the healthcare system, he also took over the student loan program.
Right. Yeah. So, and we know what a good job he did with that, just like his Cars for Clunkers program.
So now, what do you think happens for student loans? Do the colleges go ahead and say, tuitions are going up, but people get student loans from the government, so what are we going to do? Are we going to lower our tuition fees, or are we going to raise them?
Yeah. All right. So let's move on now here, and now she's gonna kind of reiterate this, repackage it in just a little bit here. We'll probably get through this clip. It'll be time for our break, and then we'll comment on it when we get back. Here's the next.
I really believe in this country because I believe in the American people. America's economy isn't yet where we want it to be, but we are stronger and better positioned than anyone in the world to build the future that you and your children deserve. And I have spent my adult life working to even the odds for people who've had the odds stacked against them. I helped break down barriers to education for poor and disabled children as a young lawyer, fought for health insurance for all, and have been committed to that since my days as First Lady. I worked to bring opportunity back to upstate New York and a lot of depressed communities there as senator, and went to bat for American workers and businesses as your Secretary of State. And everything I've learned and everything I've done has convinced me we are stronger when we grow together. And I've said throughout this campaign that my mission as president will be to help create more good-paying jobs so we can get incomes rising for hardworking families across America.
Okay, so now we're back to we're going to make it better. Obama made it good, but it still sucks, but we're going to make it better. And by the way, my entire life has been dedicated to this mission. Her entire life has been dedicated to accumulating wealth. That has been her. She is, she would be the perfect Republican, given today's definition of a Republican.
Yes.
Okay, but
she could be.
It's just that nobody in the Republican Party would want her. Maybe they look at her as a threat. I don't know, but she's a Democrat because that's the only place she could go.
Well, her big thing is the government has been able to do this, to help people do this. Well, how do they subsidize everything? What do they do? Tax incentives for places up in New York State to open up businesses, to keep them in business.
Yeah.
And that's how they do it. They use taxpayer dollars to subsidize it.
Right. So we got to go to a break right now. We'll comment just a little bit more on this when we get back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
City Talk Radio, WRN. I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at nature'syouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or nature'syouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Expand your life with Expandovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Expand your life with Expandovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame. He owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get the Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world. Then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hickos. And what we're doing right now, this hour, is we're listening to, as much as we can in its entirety, Hillary Clinton's speech given in Columbus, Ohio yesterday, in which she basically tries to distance herself from everything that's happened in the past, including her time as First Lady, except for her touting the health care law that is currently in place right now, believe it or not. It used to be Hillary Care, but they just added a few things and changed the name to Obamacare. But she's pretty much telling us that, the presidents in the past set the course of the economy, completely discarding or just paying no attention to the fact that her husband was one of the primary, culprits in bringing about the subprime lending meltdown that created the Great Recession.
Yeah, he set the ball in motion to make that happen.
Right, and that's by expanding the assurance of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. And by the way, James Johnson, the guy who was running Freddie Mac, left shortly after Clinton's administration was over, and made somewhere in the neighborhood of over $100 million while he was there. Okay, so just so you know what it's really all about. Okay, we're going to get back to the speech here, and she's talking about pretty much everything she's done in the past to make her the great person that she is today. Here we go.
It's a pretty simple formula. Higher wages lead to more demand, which leads to more jobs with higher wages. And I've laid out a detailed agenda to jumpstart this virtuous cycle. And you can go to my website, HillaryClinton.com, and read all about it. And I do admit, it is a little wonky. But I have this old-fashioned idea that if you're running for president, you should say what you want to do. How you're going to pay for it, and how you'll get it done. Actually sweat the specifics because they matter. Whether one more kid gets health care may just be a detail in Washington, but it's all that matters to that family worrying about their child.
Okay, so we trot out the human shields, talking about the child. If one more kid can get health care, even though it might cost 200 times more than it normally would, we want to get the health care for that one kid. But I want to make a couple of comments here. Okay? Higher wages lead to more demand, which leads to more jobs with higher wages. Well, I haven't seen any of that come out of the Obama administration at all. Saw none of it come out of the Clinton administration when he was president.
I've never seen that actually work, because higher wages lead to more demand. Demand on what?
Yeah.
If your overhead is cut down by the fact you have to pay people more, and it's more because the government forces you to do that, what's demand? You're not increasing anything. Productivity hasn't increased.
I think what she should have said was higher wages lead to more demand for higher wages.
Yes, exactly.
But here's I want to make a note here. Okay, she's laid out a detailed agenda to jumpstart this virtuous cycle. Like I said, I thought Barack Obama had already resolved this problem.
Well, she just landed on Earth the other day.
Yeah. So at the same time she's telling us what a great job Obama's done, she keeps reiterating that there's something else has to be done. Now, here's the big kicker. Go to my website, HillaryClinton.com, and read all about it. I'll tell you something. I've tried to go to HillaryClinton.com and read all about it. You have to pay money to join the website. You've got to give a donation before they'll let you pass the landing page to even read about anything. So yeah, if you want to fork over a couple bucks, I think $5 is the minimum. You want to pay $5 to read all about it and find out what it is, if there is really anything there. She talked about being wonkish. This woman wouldn't know wonkish if it came up and wonked her on the butt. So anyway, okay, she's going to continue here, telling us just how much she has figured out what needs to be done.
Tomorrow in North Carolina, I will set out ambitious new goals that will help us build a stronger, fairer economy. We'll work with both parties to make transformational investments in good-paying jobs, in infrastructure, advanced manufacturing, clean energy, and small business.
Okay,
and we'll tackle the twin problems.
Let's just stop, because these are all the buzzwords that if your infrastructure means taxes.
Right. Infrastructure means public sector jobs.
Exactly. It means higher taxes, because how do you think these are going to get paid for? The magic infrastructure fairy is going to come down and build bridges and roads? No, that's not how that's going to work. They're going to increase taxes. How are they going to do this? Advanced manufacturing, clean energy? Yeah, they're going to subsidize that. Small businesses are out of luck.
Yeah, and we're talking about, and she's here, advanced manufacturing. Advanced manufacturing where? If all the manufacturing is moving overseas because of the regulations that Clinton and others want to place on them, there is no advanced manufacturing. Clean energy, what are we talking about? That's the phrase we use here all the time in the show. Creative destruction. It's the removal of industries like oil and everything else, and replacing it with solar panels and hamster-driven cars and all the other stuff that we've been talking about. And
that's the transformational part. That's the transformational investment.
Right. That's the exactly. You're actually right. Very much.
So if you work in coal mines in Kentucky and West Virginia, you're out of a job.
That's right.
But she will make more jobs for you, because remember, higher wages lead to more demand, which leads to more jobs with higher wages.
Yeah. And then the idea here that we'll pursue innovative ideas like corporate profit sharing, democratic socialism. Now we're back to Bernie Sanders. That's what she's talking about here. Corporate profit sharing, because everyone who works hard should be able to share in the rewards of hard work. That is a move to the left beyond anything that she has done in any other area. Because that she is echoing now Bernie Sanders. He should be suing her for plagiarism. That is democratic socialism. And the Wall Street stuff, we're going after Wall Street. That's a joke. That's a joke. I mean, that's a joke. She ain't going to do that. I can guarantee you. She would have no money coming in for campaigns if she really seriously goes after Wall Street. All right, so where are we at here? We got about 2 minutes here. Let's play the little more portion here of this clip. We'll be just hang in there. We're going to do it.
Of college affordability and student debt. We'll pursue innovative ideas like corporate profit sharing, because everyone who works hard should be able to share in the rewards of their hard work. And to pay for these investments, we will make sure Wall Street corporations and the super rich contribute their fair share. And through it all, we're going to make sure our policies match how families actually live, learn, and work in the 21st century. And so that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow in North Carolina and throughout this campaign. But today, I want to talk about what Donald Trump is promising to do to the economy.
All right, so she's going to be in North Carolina tomorrow. She's going to lay out the furthering of her campaign and what she's going to be talking about. Okay, the super rich are going to contribute their fair share. I just wonder if she considers herself the super rich. What is Hillary Clinton going to do? What is she going to pay in taxes? I'd like to say, she rants and raves about the 1%. All through this thing, in and out. It's the top people. The richest need to pay their fair share. I wonder if she's going to pay her fair share. I wonder if we'll ever find out what she's ever paid in her fair share. But when you run all your money through a nonprofit, as the Clinton Foundation is, you don't have to account for any of it. And you're still living in lavish, I think they're up to 3 houses now. I've seen a picture of a couple of their houses. Yeah, tell me this woman was broke when she left office.
She's still making this speech in her little Armani jumpsuit?
Yeah, okay. So when we get back, we got a commercial here. When we get back, we're going to talk about, well, she gets into her what do you want to call it, her launch on Donald Trump. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative.
life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right. General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360.
We're back right here at the Conservative Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk from Real Conservatives. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, and pick up this show. You should share this show with everybody that you know, because where else will you find somebody going through this thing word for word and being able to offer you some decent, reasonable commentary on what's being said. Okay, now let's get back to this because we're going to do Donald Trump the next hour, so we want to get through as much as we can through this. But she's now going to get into launching her attack against Donald Trump. And we'll probably get through, I'm thinking, maybe 2 paragraphs here because I've got a whole barrage of crap that just lit up across my scoreboard as I was reading the transcript on this. Here's Hillary Clinton in Columbus, Ohio, yesterday.
After more than a year, it's important that he be held accountable for what he says he'll do as president. And we need to clear the way for a real conversation about how to improve the lives of working people. A few weeks ago, I said his foreign policy proposals and reckless statements represent a danger to our national security. But you might think that because he has spent his life as a businessman, he'd be better prepared to handle the economy. Well, it turns out he's dangerous there, too. Just like he shouldn't have his finger on the button, he shouldn't have his hands on our economy. Now, I don't say that because of typical political disagreements. Liberals and conservatives say Trump's ideas would be disastrous. The Chamber of Commerce and labor unions, Mitt Romney and Elizabeth Warren, economists on the right and the left and the center all agree Trump would throw us back into recession. One of John McCain's former economic advisors actually calculated what would happen to our country if Trump gets his way. He described the results of a Trump recession. we would lose 3.5 million jobs, incomes would stagnate, debt would explode, and stock prices would plummet. And you know who'd be hit the hardest? The people who had the hardest time getting back on their feet after the 2008 crisis.
Okay, are we going to stop that there?
Okay, go for it.
Good. She says that Donald Trump, his reckless statements represent a danger to our national security. But having a personal email server with no security on it was not a danger to our national security whatsoever. She was Secretary of State.
Yeah,
really? Thank you. I guess she would know a danger to national security.
I know. I was just reading today an article that popped up, and the State Department is now once again admitting something here. They were having problems with Hillary Clinton's server situation when she came into office, and trying to fix the problems, they ended up eliminating all the security measures to her server because they couldn't figure out what the problem was. So what they did, it's like going into your firewall and just saying, yeah, I don't want a firewall. And this took place for 11 weeks. This thing happened, okay? 11 weeks she was Secretary of State with absolutely no security on the government server. Okay, we're not even talking about the private server. We're talking about the government server that she had.
Okay, and then the next line was he spent his life as a businessman. You think he'd be better prepared to handle the economy? I don't know. Just how many payrolls do you think Hillary Clinton has actually met in her lifetime?
Yeah.
Compared to Mr. Trump, how many do you think she has met? I would venture to say he's got her vastly outnumbered.
Yeah, and as we get into this later on, and she starts, playing up his failures in business, I'm just telling you, anybody that can accumulate as much wealth as he has to have had some failures. It doesn't. There's no such thing as a failure-free entrepreneur. It doesn't happen. Yeah. It's not, So I think when you weigh out the pros and the cons, I'd have to give Trump the pro on this. I'd have to say, okay, you've had some failures. You had some casinos that failed. You had some other deals that failed. Yeah, Trump steak sucked. Trump vodka sucked. Okay, fine. He's still sitting there floating at the top of the world. Still able to fund his own campaign. Still doing what he says he does, and that is get up every morning, works with his kids, and has made visions a reality. So yeah, I think that's pretty lame argument.
So she wants to bring other people from the other side onto her side and say liberals and conservatives are on Hillary Clinton's side on this, and it's like, oh, who's she bring up? Oh, she brings up Mitt Romney. Oh, my goodness. And Elizabeth Warren, hey, I lied too because I'm Native American. My toenail is anyway. And then she brings up John McCain.
Yeah, and we're talking about the interchangeability, once again, of the word conservative. Referring to Mitt Romney as a conservative, referring to John McCain as a conservative. John McCain's former economic advisor. Let me tell you something about John McCain's former economic advisor. John McCain was the guy that stood in the midst of at the beginning of the subprime lending meltdown and told Americans during his campaign that the American economy was strong. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yep. Okay. That's why I can suspend my campaign.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of economic advisor I want handling my campaign. The world is falling down around you, and it's like what you're doing. You're standing outside a fire trying to sell fire insurance. It's like, give me a freaking break, man. And John McCain, yeah, he's a conservative. Yeah, sure.
So I don't think her little argument there is really holding water for me. It's really not. I mean, who's she pick out? She picks out the Romneys and the McCains and the Elizabeth Warrens, and they're supposed to be, yes, they all agree with me that Donald Trump doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground. It's like, yeah, okay, Hillary, and you have exactly done what with your life as far as helping other people make a payroll, giving them opportunities. The only opportunities you've made for people are for you and Bill.
Yeah, let's not forget the Chamber of Commerce, which is a Democratic-owned organization. Let's not talk about Well, let's not forget labor unions.
Oh, the unions, they're Donald Trump's best friend because he's done nothing but because he's had to work with them, and they always increased the cost of services and goods.
Yeah. So, you're talking about basically everybody she mentions here, collectively speaking, are no more conservative than John McCain is conservative. Okay,
her and Bill are obviously some great people to know about trade agreements too. See, there's a trade agreement that Mr. Clinton got us into. Really didn't work out that well for us.
Yeah, and if we're talking about, I don't know. I haven't really heard any economic person out there talking about how, because what Trump would do is going to cost us 3.5 million jobs. Incomes would stagnate. Incomes have already stagnated. In fact, they've decreased. Debt would explode. Debt has already exploded. I mean, what are you talking about? You mean Donald Trump is going to make it worse than you did? It can't get much worse than it is right now in terms of the economy. Stock prices would plummet. The stock prices might plummet. I'll tell you what would rise, though. Bond prices would rise. Because bonds are the opposite of stocks, okay? And the bonds are used to pay interest. And we already know that what's happening here, the reason the stock prices have risen so high is because the Fed is not moving on anything. It's fabricating value where it doesn't exist. This is what caused the subprime meltdown.
0% interest rates? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, or the banks saying all the loans were AAA when they were actually triple B, and all the rating agencies saying the ratings of these bonds and these loans were all AA when they were double B.
Oh, you just reminded me, John. For the first time in American history, our credit score was downgraded as a nation under Barack Obama. That's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and it wasn't due to the Republicans shutting the government down either.
No.
It was due to the credit agencies actually looking at it and saying, wow, we really can't cover this up anymore, or we're really going to look bad if it gets exposed. Now, that's what happened there. The rating agencies couldn't hide the inevitable anymore.
Yeah.
They had to come out and do something. Okay, because there is an international factor that just couldn't be played around with anymore. And remember, at the time, the international community was all going through a recession also.
Yep. Yeah, that's correct. And they're still hurting over in the European community. And that's part of the reason why Britain is having a Brexit vote tomorrow.
That's right.
But we're coming up the top of the hour here, buddy, so I know we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go to a break here. We're at the top of the hour. We'll cut this off right here. We'll begin Donald Trump's response to Hillary Clinton in the second hour. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
Should we be promoting work ethic and entrepreneurship to American children, or more Big Brother government? Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, it has been stated that what is taught to one generation dictates the direction the nation takes in the next. So when I see American children being persecuted by big nanny-good government for doing what I and many others did across America as children, it's more than a bit disconcerting. One of the joys of childhood has always been to strike out on one's own and set up a little lemonade stand. The rewards for operating such a business, including learning responsibility, how to interact with customers, and earn a little money, and learn general entrepreneurship, etc. All good stuff. So now big nanny-goat government in states like Louisiana have decided to be a killjoy and ticket young lemonade stand operators for not having a license. So instead of allowing American children to learn and benefit from positive free market activities and lessons, big government is on the muscle teaching children that it's okay for big government to bully people, ruin business activity, and so on, and that you too can grow up to be a big government pain in the backside. I'm Ron Edwards.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth. You can continue to blow away the myths with Ron Edwards on Facebook, Twitter, and theronedwards.com.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our Our water heater broke down last month. It was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing, and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channel for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey, all you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet. Saying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Akos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Akos.
Hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Akos. And I just wanted to, we're just going to spend a few moments here, since this is a short segment here, coming into our second hour. Yeah. We're going to just kind of recap what we did in the first hour and just kind of bring it all back, just bring it around, bring it full circle around. And then we'll, after the break, we'll get into Donald Trump's speech, which was given today. And I can tell you, as far as I can tell, just my own personal opinion, one of the better speeches he's given. I'm sure he was using a teleprompter, but it just really kind of went down a talking list and was really, I think, pretty spot on in terms of what he talked about in response to Hillary Clinton. So, Joe, what was out of what we took? We'll finish up with her tomorrow. We'll pick up tomorrow when we left off, but we want to give Trump equal airtime here. What stood out to you the most in the segments that we listened to?
Well, it was more of the same, right out of the playbook from the the opposition research that was leaked out, that was hacked by that was out on Gawker from the DNC site, and basically, Donald Trump will blow up the world. He's dangerous. Blah blah blah, which is one of the things in the op research that they did. That's that's the talking points that they were out there with, and, but Hillary Clinton acts like she just woke up yesterday, and oh my goodness, people in this country don't have health care. People in this country don't have jobs. People in this country are making the same wages they were 8-9 years ago. How did this happen? It's like she just woke up to it.
Well, I think for me, the audacity of coming out and talking about how the presidents affect the economy, which I don't totally agree with. I understand that presidents can implement policies and regulations and stuff like that, and can slow an economy down or speed it up.
Well, yes. I mean, look at what Barack Obama's done. He has done but overregulate some industries while he's left others alone.
Yeah, and the ones that he's overregulated are the ones, as she's pointing out later on, that they want to basically destroy so that they can bring about this creative destruction.
Yeah, what did she call that? She called that transformational, blah, blah, blah. What was that at?
Transformational investments.
Transformational investments. That's correct.
That's right.
That's what she called those industries are transformational investments. We're not going to invest in that. We're going to invest on putting those people out of business, i.e., oil companies, coal mines.
Yeah, and one of the things that she revealed during her talks here is just the idea here. I mean, Bernie Sanders blew their cover. Bernie Sanders blew their cover. The Democrat Party believes heavily in democratic socialism. And she basically outlined that. Yeah, this is what we want to do. We want to, when we talk about transformational investments, we want to switch from private sector investment to basically Keynesian economics, where the government controls where the money goes.
Well, I just saw this, John. I'm sorry. I hate to do this to you, but I just saw this in here. Where's that? Here we go. A lot of depressed communities, there's a center, and went to bat for American workers and businesses as your Secretary of State. Yeah. And that's the reason why her buddies all got little uranium contracts, and all the uranium's going to Russia now.
If there's any economy that Hillary Clinton helped rebuild, it would be up in Canada and Russia.
Yeah. It certainly wasn't over in Haiti.
And if there's any national defense that she helped strengthen, it would be in the Middle East, especially Libya.
We're just hitting the high points here.
Okay.
We haven't even got through page 2 of her speech on the transcript.
No, we'll try to get more into that tomorrow, because I'm thinking actually we may do this more and more. We may take these speeches and just pretty much just dissect them word for word, because all we're getting from mainstream media is just the sound bites. Just the things that work for either side. Because there's some things here that Trump says that I take exception to, but we're going to give we're equal opportunity bashers on this show, so we'll take. But I'm telling you what, laying Trump's words against Hillary, it's like night and day.
I think I'm going to take my chances with Trump, to be honest with you.
Well, at this point, I would, yeah. At this point, certainly. I mean, like I said, what's the worst that could happen? We end up with another Obama. We've already got that for sure if we get Hillary.
Yeah, exactly. And she went to bat for me as Secretary of State. At this point, what difference does it make?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out how the Secretary of State had really any hand at all in the economy when that's not really her job.
No, it absolutely didn't help the economy. She helped her buddies.
Yeah.
She greased their palms.
Yeah. So we're going to go to break right now. I want to get the moments of madness out of the way here so that we can get into Donald Trump and give him equal time here. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away. Today on Moments of Madness. Now that Hillary's $12,000 Armani jacket has been stored away with more concern for its security than her email server, we can take a presumptive look at what her campaign, as well as the DNC platform and what she will run, will look like, providing, of course, plans do not change from running for office to being fitted for an orange jumpsuit complete with her own monogrammed inmate number. Bernie Sanders' strong finish in the last of the national primaries. He won Montana and North Dakota, finished close everywhere else, and was only blown out in New Mexico, has earned him a secret meeting with Obama. One we can presume will seek to find common ground on how open the DNC should be in their evolving transformation of the United States of America, from republicanism with its greedy capitalistic economic system to the Marxist wealth redistribution model Obama envisions, utilizing creative destruction, the transferring of independent wealth to the coffers of central planners. The GOP platform will be no different, dealing with the fallout of Donald Trump's populist tsunami, one that shows no signs of letting up. The GOP establishment is plotting their survival course by attempting to prove the only attire Trump is fit to wear is a straitjacket, complete with accessorized restraining straps. Their platform also promises to be an experiment in evolutionary monetarism as they paint their planks Obama blue while trying to convince us it is still Reagan red. So intent are they to destroy Trump, they are still trying to sell the idea an independent candidate of their choice can once again dupe their base into supporting their false narrative that limited government can only be achieved through unlimited compromise. Here's the madness. One thing we can be sure of, we won't have to worry about either side taking time to articulate how their respective positions are going to reduce poverty, restore racial tranquility, and save the world from that nasty JV team in the Middle East. Paul Ryan's latest attempt at putting together a blueprint of recovery, this time entitled A Better Way. Remember the path toward prosperity? Yeah, neither do I. Prefaces his rehashed plan with a benevolent scolding of those who oppose the establishment, having no part in finding a solution, as if to imply identifying and debating the problems we face today are irrelevant in the process of finding much-needed answers. We can complain about it, referring to our current direction, but that won't change things, Speaker Ryan begins, and he's right. As far as we can tell, our complaints have fallen on the deaf ears of him and his cronies for at least the last 4 election cycles. The Democrats? Not much better there either. They'll just continue to lie, spin, and deceive their base into believing the only thing that has inhibited Obama's grand plan of transformation is time and seats on the Supreme Court bench. I wouldn't be surprised if their platform consists of one sentence: see previous administration. So what can we expect in a race that both sides claim is crucial to our survival, but have geared their campaigns based primarily on populist rhetoric embraced by an ignorant electorate? We can expect to be further nurtured and exploited at our expense by both sides. From the left, we can expect to be inundated with verbal gaffes elevated to policy positions by the media. Racial and gender tensions to be played as the defining factor in job qualifications, as well as patriotic indicators by their nominee. Scandals is nothing more than a justifiable means to an end. And of course, the promise of socio-economic equality at the expense of American exceptionalism, which preaches opportunity over entitlement. From the other side, we can expect rhetorical unity to hide fear and disdain for those of us who have placed them in office. We can expect the same promises made to us, repackaged to appeal to those who historically support the likes of Obama and Clinton. Join us so that we can stop the Democrats' destruction of America. Give us the chance to lie to you. Is there a bright side? Perhaps. Hillary Clinton speaking on election night, once again adorned in her Armani jacket, announcing she has won the election, but will spend her first 100 days trying to avoid having to replace it with that orange jumpsuit sounds good. Or breaking news, the GOP establishment folks are lining up and jumping out of their Plaza Suite windows. Either scenario has got to be the silver lining on the storm that is quickly descending upon us. This reminds me, I need a new umbrella. This is John Matthews for Moments of Madness. Hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And we're going to get into Donald Trump's speech, which was given today. And this one is I haven't had a complete time to review all of this because it came out it wasn't accessible till about 20 minutes before we went on the air. But I was able to get a written transcript, and now I have the speech here. And we're going to play it, and we're going to do just like we did with Hillary Clinton. We'll play it, and then when one of us wants to butt in here and give commentary, that's what we'll do. So here's Donald Trump speaking today.
Today I'd like to share my thoughts about the stakes in this upcoming and very important election. People have asked me why I'm running for president. I built an amazing business that I love, and I get to work side by side with my children every single day. We come to work together and turn visions into reality. We think big, and then we make it happen. We absolutely make it happen. I love what I do, and I am grateful beyond words to the nation that has allowed me to do it. So when people ask me why I am running, I very quickly answer, I'm running to give back to this country, which has been so very good to me. When I see the crumbling roads and bridges, or the dilapidated airports, or the factories moving overseas to Mexico, or to other countries for that matter, I know these problems can all be fixed, but not by Hillary Clinton, only by me. The fact is, we can come back bigger and better and stronger than ever before. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Everywhere I look, I see the possibilities our country could be. But we can't solve any of these problems by relying on the politicians who created the problems themselves. We'll never be able to fix a rigged system by counting on the same people who have rigged it in the first place.
Here you go. I was hoping you were going to stop it there.
Yeah, this is the key. Right here, we talk often, and so often on this show, about articulating the message, the conservative message. This is the conservative message. You can't fix something that has been rigged. You can't fix something by continuing to put the same people in positions of power and authority that have created the problem. It's Einstein's theory of insanity.
Yes.
You keep doing the same thing and then expecting different results. And this is my biggest problem with people that I have known now for years that have, up until this election, I thought were on the same page with me in terms of conservative ideology and principles. And we have so many people hanging around the Republican Party that do not understand this one basic fact that Donald Trump is pointing out to us at the beginning of his speech here. It is rigged, and we're asking the people that have rigged it to fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not going to happen. The other thing I noticed about this is he pointed out the fact that, yeah, he has created employment for other people.
Yeah. Now, if I was going to look at anything in this opening statement here that I would find a little disheartening is the reference to basically the same social infrastructure that Hillary Clinton is talking about. The crumbling roads and bridges.
Yes.
Okay? The dilapidated airports. But then he gets into the big problem, the factories moving to Mexico. That's private sector. But the reference to the public sector and then the private sector, okay, I'll give him some points on that. But that kind of hit me the wrong way when I first heard it and said, okay, you're talking about the crumbling bridges and roads. That's Obama. Those are the shovel-ready jobs that Obama's been talking about.
Exactly, and he's done nothing about it because what the hell? We're in debt too much. We have too much debt, and we can't afford this anymore. But yeah. I understand it. You know, he's at least created people. He's at least created people jobs. actual jobs, not these make-believe jobs that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama think they've created.
Yeah, and let's understand something. All this money that was supposed to go into infrastructure, I can tell you this from living out here in California. The money that is going into the infrastructure is not going into workers' pay to go out and do something. It's going into union coffers. It's going into pension plans, public pension plans, and things like this. This money is being put into mostly in retirement plans to pay people that are no longer working. That's where this money is going. It's not going into, of course, out here in California, we've seen a lot of it. They're rebuilding all of our freeways. I don't know why, because the freeways were fine. But now we're putting in carpool lanes on our freeways now. And I can tell you this because I drive the freeways every day. I can go in a carpool lane out here in California, and I can drive in a carpool lane for maybe 2 to 3 miles and not see another car in that lane. But all the lanes to the right of me are bottlenecked.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're building carpool lanes for no reason at all, because people in California don't drive in carpools. They don't. And they're individuals. They drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's been that way for a long time, John, but that doesn't stop them from doing it. They're going to do that because, well, it makes people like Hillary Clinton and there's Prius drivers, they feel good about themselves, but they never even stop to think about, oh, you drive an electric vehicle. Well, where are you getting that electricity from? Oh, that's right. It's from a coal-fired electricity plant.
Yeah. Well, I look at them as, I call it the busy work. And with the construction and freeways out here in California, it's just busy work. It's
the busy work, they were using inmates to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's just they use the inmates to pick up the trash on the side. Okay, but the point being out here, I'm just talking about California. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but I know out here in California, our freeways have been inundated, and the traffic is terrible when they start tearing these things down, and it's all for rebuilding something that once it's finished, nobody uses.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get on here because he does reiterate this in another way here. Donald Trump talking today. Here we go.
The insiders wrote the rules of the game to keep themselves in power and in the money. That's why we're asking Bernie Sanders voters to join our movement, so together we can fix the system for all Americans so important. This includes fixing all of our many disastrous trade deals, and they are disastrous. They're destroying our country. Because it's not just the political system that's rigged, it's the whole economy.
All right, I want to go back to this. I want to reiterate something here. He's talking about the Bernie Sanders supporters going out and saying, hey, you guys need to vote for us. Joe, you had something on this about the fact that a lot of these people have already come out and said they're not voting for Clinton.
Yeah, they said, I see reports that like almost 50%, 40% of Bernie Sanders supporters will not vote for Hillary Clinton. And they just can't bring themselves to do it. And so if Hillary and the Democratic Party thought that these people were going to turn around and I don't know what they offered Bernie in that little meeting between her and Bernie and Barack and Bernie, but those voters aren't going to be there for him.
Now, the question would be, are they going to vote for Trump or are they not going to vote at all?
Either way, it doesn't matter. It does not look good for the Democratic Party because what did she... I mean, he got, if I remember right, he got more votes than she did in a lot of these primaries.
Right. Yeah, and let's not forget that out of the last, 17 or 18 primaries, he won the majority of those primaries.
Yes, exactly. So the popular vote, which is what we're talking about here as far as that goes, went to Sanders in a lot of these cases. So these people are not going to vote for Hillary Clinton? Well, if they're not going to vote for Hillary Clinton, even if they don't vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember here is that if Hillary Clinton did not have the superdelegates, as of today, she would still be 100 delegates short of the nomination. So this isn't some slam dunk deal for her. And what it is, the Democrats, I think, are making the same mistake as the Republicans are. The establishment, in some ways, they think alike. And that is that sooner or later, all the sheep will line up and go down, where they want them to go. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen on either side of the side here. Which brings me back to the quick comment here on Trump's remarks here. The insiders wrote the rules of the game to keep themselves in power and in money. That is describing the establishment. And I haven't been able to quite put my finger on what it is exactly that the establishment fears Donald Trump about. What is it that he has? He's got to have something on them in some way. I'm not saying he's out there, trying to blackmail people or anything else. But here's a man who I don't know why more people haven't brought this out. If I was going against Trump, I would bring out the fact that he's made a lot of money during the subprime lending scandal.
Oh, yeah. But then again, that's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, that, he's a capitalist, and he did that, that kind of thing. But I'm talking about the fact there's something about this, the establishment, that Donald Trump knows in terms of how the game is played for power and money, and they don't want that exposed. Now, how that would look, the actual nuts and bolts of it, whatever makes it up, I still haven't quite figured it out, but that's what it is. He is a threat to them, as I've said before, because he is part of the establishment. He has played the game, and he has made a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, he can't say he's never been a politician. Just because you didn't put that on your job description doesn't mean he wasn't a politician. I want to say one thing about the Sanders folks. Okay. They got Sanders folks out there saying if they steal the nomination from Bernie Sanders, you got people saying out there they're going to vote for Trump, but they will not vote for Hillary Clinton no matter what.
Okay.
So that is just like the Republican establishment. Right. If the Republicans go ahead and do the same thing towards Trump and try to put something else up there besides Trump in nomination, it's not going to end well for the Republican, that particular candidate. It's not going to end well. It's not going to happen. The Republican establishment it's a fool's journey if they go down that path.
So it comes down to is how many the side that can turn out the most dissidents are going to be the ones that win.
Well, it's going to be turnout, but if Trump can turn out more to vote for him, he's already got it easier right now because half of the Democrats that were voting for Sanders already said they're not going to vote for Clinton.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by dissidents. We've got the anti-establishment people on the Democrat side voting for Sanders. We've got the anti-establishment Trump people voting on the GOP. And if the GOP and the Democrat establishment both say, well, I'm not voting for anybody, because I'm just so adamantly against it, whoever gets the most, I call them dissidents, the people that are out there, the followers, the Trump followers. If he gets more the Trump followers and the anti-Clinton people, then Clinton is able to get the Clinton people and the anti-Trump people. So it's going to be a battle of the rebellious. Whoever gets the most rebellious to the polls are going to be the ones that win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. We've never seen this before in our election process ever. I can't recall this ever coming about like that, where you had the outsider on both sides. Being this fruitful, this powerful, let's say, for lack of a better word.
I think probably, and we weren't alive when it happened, maybe Theodore Roosevelt's time looked like this. Maybe that's kind of what it looked like. He was the only independent that ever got elected.
Well, no. He was already elected.
Okay.
The thing is that he split. See, the Republicans, as you talked about before, they bought the presidency, quote unquote. Remember back in the days,
right.
And so they got Theodore Roosevelt. Then all of a sudden, they didn't want him, and they nominated a Republican, and that's when old Teddy said, well, I'm going to have the Bull Moose Party. And so he split off, and what happened? Woodrow Wilson won. Go figure, the Democrat won.
Okay, I get you. My history was bogged up there.
Hey, we got to go to a break.
Yeah, we got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll continue listening to Donald Trump's speech given today. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at nature'syouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or nature'syouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Expand your life with Expandovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Expand your life with Expandovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame. He owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get the Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, and bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474. 866-657-8474.
right, hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. We're covering right now the Donald Trump speech that was given today. We covered the first hour, Hillary Clinton. We'll pick these up tomorrow, what we can't finish today, because there's some real gems in here, especially Trump's speech. There's a lot of gems out of this thing. But I wanted to just make one quick comment here. I made at the beginning of the show talking about the sit-in that's going on in Congress right now by the Democrats, and I made the comment just kind of off the cuff about, maybe they should just turn out the lights and leave the people there. Yeah. Lo and behold, that's what they did today.
Did they block the bathrooms?
Yeah, they just shut the lights off and they shut the mics off. And I was just what I found out though was, the Republicans or the Democrats are all upset about this. It's a stunt. The Republicans are pulling this stunt. They're shutting down the people's house. Okay, but we know. Yeah, but somebody gave me just sent me an article in August 2008. The Republicans tried to do the same thing the Democrats. The Democrats would not vote on what they call an all-of-the-above energy legislation when the gas prices were sky high. Okay. And so they refused to leave the halls of Congress for their 5-week recess. And the Democrats did the same thing. They shut the lights off and the mics off. So, yeah, I guess what we're talking about, we really are talking about romper room.
Yes, okay. This is just insanity.
Anyway,
it's people's salary to do this stupidity.
Yeah. Just amazing. Just amazing. And these people get paid to be idiots. They're professional idiots and they get paid.
I don't know who's the idiots, though. We keep putting some of these people back in office over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what we're talking about here. And I think Trump has come the closest to bringing that up and driving it home. I mean, very articulately for a change about the fact that the very people that have rigged the system and made it all about power and money. We're being told that these same people need to be reelected one more time
to fix it.
All right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get back to our speech here with Donald Trump. Talking about the economy here, and let's see where we left off here. I want to cue up my notes here real quick here so I don't. Okay, here we go. Donald Trump.
It's rigged by big donors who want to keep wages down. It's rigged by big businesses who want to leave our country, fire our workers, and sell their products back into the United States with absolutely no consequences for them. It's rigged by bureaucrats who are trapping kids in failing schools. It's rigged against you, the American people. Hillary Clinton, and as you know, most people know, she's a world-class liar. Just look at her pathetic email server statements or her phony landing. Or her phony landing in Bosnia, where she said she was under attack, and the attack turned out to be young girls handing her flowers. A total and look, this was one of the beauts. A total and self-serving lie. Brian Williams' career was destroyed for saying less. Just remember that. Yesterday, she even tried to attack me and my many businesses. But here, and this is the way it is the bottom line. I started off in Brooklyn, New York, not so long ago, with a small loan, and built a business that today is worth well over $10 billion. And that's the kind of thinking we need in our leadership of our country. I've always had a talent for building businesses and, importantly, for creating jobs. That's a talent our country desperately needs. I'm running for president to end the unfairness and to put you, the American worker, first. It's about time. We're going to put America first, and we're going to make America great again. This election will decide whether we are ruled by the people or by the politicians. Here is my promise to the American voter. If I'm elected president, I will end the special interest monopoly in Washington, D.C. Very important. The other candidate in this race has spent her entire life making money for special interests, and I will tell you, she's made plenty of money for them, and she's been taking plenty of money out for herself. Hillary Clinton has perfected the politics of personal profit and even theft. She ran the State Department like her own personal hedge fund, doing favors for oppressive regimes, and many others, and really many, many others, in exchange for cash. Pure and simple, folks. Pure and simple. Then when she left, she made $21.6 million giving speeches to Wall Street banks and other special interests, and in less than 2 years, secret speeches that she does not want to reveal under any circumstances to the public. I wonder why.
All right, you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You were talking before about you didn't quite figure out why the establishment doesn't want Trump to win. I think it's there, right there. I think he just told it right there when he said, I will end the special interest monopoly in Washington, D.C. I think that's it right there in a nutshell.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of zeroing in on here. If you were trying to call, or you were trying to shut it off there or whatever, I didn't hear you coming in. So forgive me for that. But I think that's exactly it. And when he talks about ending the special interest monopoly in Washington, D.C., that is the lifeblood of the establishment on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the. And he does point out, and rather. Yes, rather decisively so, that she has spent her life making money for special interests and the other way around. She has never, ever done anything but that.
Yeah. Well, in her speech, she was touting her experience as a young lawyer. Yeah. And nobody's really brought it to the surface to such a degree. Let's not forget, this is a woman who was fired as a young lawyer.
Yes.
Okay, and she was
by the team that was investigating Watergate.
Right, and she was fired for unethical conduct.
Yes.
So let's put the right. Let's not try to put a round peg into a square hole here. She was a young lawyer, but she was a young lawyer that was fired. And that's probably why she ended up going into politics, riding on her husband's coattail.
Exactly. She's always ridden on his coattails.
Right.
And so, otherwise, why do you think she would just support him after all he's put her through?
Yeah.
Stand by my man.
And let's not forget, both of these people have been disbarred. Her and her husband both have been disbarred. We're not talking about, the big rumor with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama being disbarred and losing their licenses. They voluntarily gave up their licenses. They don't need them anymore,
but besides that, they were going to get taken away from them. So,
okay.
Rather than, let's just not let's keep the dust down from this little storm.
Okay. So, anyway, this idea of $21.6 million giving speeches to Wall Street. See, that completely contradicts Hillary's claims that she's going to reel in Wall Street.
Yes, exactly that. She's going to reel in what? The same people that she's gotten money from?
Right.
At quite a large sum of money at that.
Yeah, and that reiterates what we were saying earlier. Yeah, we're going to reelect you to reel in the very people that have given you the money that has helped you rise to the level of power that you have.
But she's going to be our champion and work for the American worker.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want anybody to know what she said in these speeches, by the way.
Yeah, secret speeches that nobody that doesn't want to be revealed to the public. Boy, I wonder what that would sound like. Yeah. Okay, now her and he's going to continue here with the amount of money they've made on speeches. So, anything else?
No, just let me see. I just want you to stop that when you get down to where he starts talking about some trade agreements.
Okay. We got to go to a break right now, though. We'll be right back, guys. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
You can catch all our archives at the
ConservativeSyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right. General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360.
All right, hey, we're back. The Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. We're going to get right back here to the Trump speech because we're probably not going to get even halfway through this today, but we're going to continue this tomorrow. We'll pick this back up. We'll finish, try to finish out both of them, Clinton's and Trump's, tomorrow. These next few paragraphs here, pay particular attention to because I'll probably hit the button here after about the third or fourth paragraph here that I'm looking at in my transcript.
Yeah, okay.
Because Trump I'm just really kind of surprised how he actually articulates this in some other way rather than just him just standing up there telling him how many friends he's got and how great it's all going to be.
Yeah, it's huge.
Which is why I don't listen a whole lot to him anymore because I'm okay, I can recite this thing. But anyway, Donald Trump here, his speech today, here we go.
Together, she and Bill made $153 million giving speeches to lobbyists, CEOs, and foreign governments in the years since 2001. They totally own her, and that will never, ever change, including if she ever became president. God help us. The choice in this election is a choice between taking our government back from the special interests or surrendering really the last scrap of independence to the total and complete control of people like the Clintons. Those are the stakes. Hillary Clinton wants to be president, but she doesn't have the temperament or, as Bernie Sanders said very strongly, the judgment to be president. She does not have the judgment. She believes she's entitled to the office. Her campaign slogan is, I'm with her. You know what my response is to that? I'm with you, the American people. Thank you very much. She thinks it's all about her. I know it's all about you. I know it's all about making America great again for all Americans. All Americans. Our country lost its way when it stopped putting the American people really first. We have to go back to putting our American people first. We got here because we switched from a policy of Americanism, focusing on what's good for America's middle class, to a policy of globalism, focusing on how to make money for large corporations who can move their wealth and workers to foreign countries, all to the detriment of the American worker and the American economy.
There it is. Reiterated one more time. The concept of globalism. This is what the establishment fears being found out about. That's what I'm hearing here. This idea, the establishment is all about themselves, all about their power and their money. But this move to globalism, let's use the conspiracy term, the New World Order.
That's what it is, though.
Yeah, because that is what it is. It's the idea of where it's just like anybody else when you're making money. I was talking the other day about watching the documentary on the History Channel, "The Men Who Built America."
Yeah,
and one of the things that I found really remarkable was, especially with John D. Rockefeller, after J.P. Morgan cornered the market on electricity and put Rockefeller in a very bad position because kerosene was, kind of no longer relevant. And through that, Rockefeller found gasoline. And they were discarding gasoline. It was useless until such a time that all of a sudden they realized, hey, this can do something. And so they began, using gas-powered motors.
He got friends with Henry Ford.
Yeah. Well, the thing I was getting at was he just wasn't big enough. Rockefeller wasn't satisfied with what was going on. So what did he do? He went after Carnegie, who was the major steel manufacturer. And what he did was he cornered the market on some iron ore out in Dakotas or someplace like that. And he thought nobody else wanted it. But what he did was he found a bunch of smaller companies that would manufacture the steel and ended up putting Carnegie in a place where Carnegie had to make a deal with Rockefeller, I'll buy all your ore if you'll quit expanding. Because he was becoming a threat to Carnegie. So what we have here is we have the establishments on both sides not happy with just controlling the American economy now. And now we've got to expand it into the global economy. And that's what it's all about. That it's the globalism. I think that's what the establishment fears, is that they'll be exposed for being the globalists that they are. Listen to some of the things that have come out of the mouths of Mitt Romney, and particularly George W. Bush is back on the campaign trail. You listen to some things coming out of this man's mouth. This is all about globalism. This is why the Republican Party is not so concerned about what's going on within the United States in terms of the moral factor or the moral, compass that used to guide our republic. And they don't care about that because it's all about expanding the economy to a global level.
Yeah, to a global level at the expense of the American worker here.
Yeah. I'm surprised these guys are not more friendly with George Soros.
Oh, but they are.
Well,
Hillary especially is.
Yeah, I guess you're right there. Okay.
Oh, Hillary definitely is. He's given her money, and so Hillary is all for. We want a European-style marketplace.
Yeah, you're right there. You got it. You hit it on the head there. All right, now let's get this clip out here before we sum it up for today, so that when we start tomorrow, we can start fresh. Donald Trump here, and he reiterates what we were just saying here.
Itself. We reward companies for offshoring, and we punish companies for doing business in America and keeping our workers employed. They get punished. This is not a rising tide that lifts all boats. This is a wave of globalism that wipes out our middle class and our jobs along with it. We need reform, and we have to reform our economic system so that once again we can all succeed together and America can become rich again. We have to make America rich again. And that's what I mean by America First. Our country will be better off when we start making our own products again, bringing our once great manufacturing capabilities back to the shores. I mean, we have to bring our manufacturers back to the United States. Desperately needed. Desperately, we need those jobs. And we need it even from our psyche. One of the really great things, and one of the first major bills that George Washington signed was amazing when I saw this for the first time, the encouragement and protection of manufacturing in America. Our first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, warned us by saying, the abandonment of the protective policy by the American government will produce want and ruin among our people. In other words, we have to protect our country. I have decided and visited cities and towns across America, all across America, and seen the devastation caused by the trade policies of Bill and Hillary Clinton. And it's total devastation.
All right. And I stopped it there because I don't want to get too much into the trade agreements because that will kind of stifle what you want to talk about, Joe.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, you know, this is one of the things you're going to hear. And what do you hear from the Democrats is this protectionism, this isolationism. This is we are part of the world economy. You remember hearing any of these phrases from Barack Obama and his friends? Have you heard any of the world? We're a member of the world economy. At the expense of the American economy, of course.
And I think it's worth noting here, the last comment he made here, that visiting the cities and towns across America and seeing the devastation caused by the trade policies of Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now, I'm sure that's a reference to NAFTA. And some of the things that took place during the Clinton administration, because he does go along and he does talk about that later. But here's my point. We know this, and we've talked about it on this show before, that when you visit the great poverty centers of America, the big metropolitans out there, you find out that they're run by Democrats.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I just remember as they decided to go ahead and change how we did business. And just growing up in Pittsburgh, the steel community just was devastated in this time from the Democrats and this kind of policy that they were implemented here. And now try to get American steel. Just try to do it and see what it costs you.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. It's good. What's your whole take on this so far, Joe? I mean, I think he articulated this thing very well.
I think he's just now getting into the serious stuff of here's what Hillary Clinton's about,
right.
and I think he's really, which is about darn time rather than this other crazy stupidity that he's been going on. So hey, we got to pick this up tomorrow, though, man. This is getting really good.
Yeah, I really like doing it this way. We may do this in the future, too. We get these big speeches out there. We'll just go through them line for line. We'll give you something that nobody else will give you. We'll give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Hey, guys, we are so grateful that you take the time to listen to us. We love you. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock out here in the West Coast, 6 o'clock on the East Coast, and we'll pick this all up again, and we'll try to finish it out tomorrow. I think we'll get the bulk of it out tomorrow, and you'll get a better picture of what's going on. God love you. We love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life. It only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hayko, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.